Welcome to AlphaCars in Ural of New England. My name is Dimitri, and we're checking out 2021 Ural Gear Up Black Hornet. It's a black body with exciting yellow stripes with a thin stripe reveal at the edge of the big yellow stripe. This is an awesome bike. And let's get close to it. Let's get personal. Before we do that, let's get this out of the way. On the background, everybody asks, what is the car on the background? It's a Russian Volga GAZ-21, 1962. Back to the motorcycle. The color scheme is one of the most popular we had in years. And I think on the screen, on your screen, it may come through as a little bit more yellow than it really is. It's actually a very nice deep yellow color. Yes, it's a deep, beautiful yellow color that, without exception, everyone that ever put an eye on this bike, whether it's at a first glance or would be just looking and checking it out in detail, everybody was absolutely impressed with the choice of the finish, the type of finish, the fact that the black is semi-gloss, kind of a flat with just a little shine, and the same type of texture in the yellow. It makes an awesome, awesome bike. Enough on the color. Let's talk about the accessories. So this bike was ordered in the custom color configuration, and then some other cool features that we have factory make for us. We used to do underbody coatings ourselves, and then we reached out to factory and said, well, if you guys do it for us, we can save a lot of money to our customers because we don't have to remove fenders, we don't have to remove the sidecar tubs. And yeah, they agreed, and now for years they've been producing that as an optional feature. So as you look at this Ural, you can see some textured finish on about 2 inches of the lower section of the sidecar. Also, the underbody, under the fenders, all 3 fenders and the underbody of the sidecar were coated from the factory before the finish was applied. So that's one option that this bike has. Independent of this option, you can also get, and this bike has it, the textured liner finish on the interior of the tub and the interior of the trunk space. Let's check that out. Well, this is a sold motorcycle, just so you know, and I am grabbing it because it was literally just uncrated and sold very shortly. You see some t-shirts, you see some additional goodies that are sold with the bike. You see some, these are our design and our production covers for the LED lights. Here they are. Sorry about that. The owner's manual, touch-up paint, famous toolkit, all in there. There is also a cup holder with this bike. As we make our way around the motorcycle, we're going to mention and just get all the factory installed options out of the way. The black powder coated drivetrain, which includes the engine, transmission, final drive, are all powder coated from the factory. And the amount of money that factory charges for this enormous amount of work is simply unbelievably inexpensive, because just think of it. If you look at this powder coating, you're going to notice that all the gaskets and obviously hardware, it's all exposed, which means that each part before assembly was powder coated separately, not as an assembly, which makes a huge labor difference. It's a lot more labor to powder coat each part separately and then assemble the engine or transmission. So this is how it's done at the Ural factory. The motorcycle also has optional gas tank compartment. There it is. I may be missing something, but I think it's pretty much it for the factory installed options. Then we have the options that are offered by Ural of New England. Most of this, if not, I would say all of these options you can find on our e-store, uralne.com. Ural and then N as new, E as England, uralne.com. If you haven't been on that site and you have a Ural motorcycle, you absolutely owe it to yourself to visit, but be careful, have some time, because you're going to spend some time on our website. We have hundreds, literally, we probably have now over 600 items of Ural specific accessories. Everything from cup holders to high mount, exhaust systems, and everything in between. So back to this motorcycle, we do have an H4 halogen halo lens, and it looks like we have an LED bulb upgrade. It's hard to see from here, but it is common. Then we have the lens protector right here. I love how it looks on this bike with a black and yellow paint scheme. Then we have the windshield. This one is nice and clear. This is a good size plexi windscreen, and it's very, very clear, nice quality plexi. We offer different variants of the windshields, including with metal fairings, so please check that out if you have a Ural, and never hesitate to give us a call. Between our service and parts team and our sales team, we all would love to speak with you and answer your questions. So here's the windshield. It's very, very easy to install. As you can see, it literally, you just remove 2 mounting bolts for the steering bar clamps and replace them with longer type of stud or bolt that mounts the windscreen, and it's adjustable in multiple directions. The seating arrangement on this bike is the solar tractor seat with the rack on the rear fender. The bolt pattern on the rack matches the bolt pattern of the rear seat. I'm going to show it to you real quick. Let's see, here's this bike. So you can see, if you look at the mounting pattern on the seat, it's very easy. You unbolt the rack and you put the seat on, or vice versa, and the motorcycle already, this one is equipped with the grab handles and with the foot pegs. Check them out. Nice heavy duty foot pegs, here they are on both sides. Well, since we made our way to the area between the bike and the sidecar, we have our famous 2-wheel drive system. Here's the lever that goes to this little handle. So when the handle is moved towards the engine, you're in 1-wheel drive. When it's moved towards the rear of the bike, you're in 2-wheel drive. Here's the little cute little pedal. Everybody loves this pedal because no other bike has this pedal. It is the reverse gear. It's a mechanical car-like, automobile-like, truck-like, tractor-like. It's a real reverse gear. It's not an electric reverse. You put in reverse gear and you can go in reverse for as long as you can sustain. Yeah, it can travel in reverse, but you need to be careful because when the bike moves in reverse, the steering response is way different. So you definitely need to start and usually finish very, very slow. Be careful with the throttle, start at idle, and be very gentle with the throttle. The reason I'm just keeping my camera on the details of the bike, because any Ural, any modern Ural, at least, you know, the late model Urals, every year we have been given extraordinary level of improvements. We've been involved with Urals professionally as a dealer since 2006, and every year we were super impressed with the improvements. At this point, this bike has, in my opinion, very little to no areas for improvements, even though everything has room for improvement. Ural is getting close to to the limit, but I'm sure the factory will find some areas for improvement. The quality of the assembly, the quality of fit and finish on these motorcycles is simply unbelievable. It doesn't matter if you're an engineer, if you are a motorcyclist, if you're just, you could be an artist, but if you look at this motorcycle and spend some time looking at the detail, everything is so well thought out, balanced. Like if you look at the piece of hardware, if you look at the flange, if you look at the piece of hardware, there's just everything is centered. The sizing of the components is just right. Everything is engineered properly and thoroughly, and the quality of implementation is just incredible. You can just spend time looking at the bike, and that brings joy to most of us that love machines. So sorry for stepping away from the accessories of this bike, but I thought I'd mention some important details about Ural as a motorcycle. So on this bike, we also have shin guards, which are optional, very inexpensive, and very handy feature. As we make our way towards the sidecar, we're now looking at the front. The driving lamps are standard, the front bumper is standard, the nose rack is not standard, and the way we install it is, you can see when we drill something, we drill it to the right size. The exposed metal gets trimmed and cleaned, primed and touched up. We wait for the paint to dry, and then we install spacers. In fact, we use our own spacers with much thicker and corded rubber. And then on the inside, we use the hardware with nylon locking hardware, that we don't have to squeeze the hell out of the rubber gasket. And at some point, you're gonna actually touch the metal of the rack towards the paint, something you want to avoid. So the way we install it, there's always proper clearance maintained, and there's just absolutely no disturbance to the paint. And why it's important? Again, when the paint is disturbed, it makes access to the moisture, to the metal. And when moisture gets there, guess what? It starts rusting. You don't see it right away. It could be months, it could be a year, or maybe even a little more, depending on the climate where the motorcycle is used. But then there will be rust, and rust is a bad thing. We all know that. We have the windshield. Nice, clear plexi, metal frame, and we actually have a way, and we can share it with you. I'll need some help to keep the camera because I'll need two hands. We'll show you how you can wrap the tonneau cover and still have easy access, and the tonneau cover is not on the way. And now my favorite part are the retro lights. We actually introduced that to the Ural world many years ago. When we saw the retro next to the gear up, we said, wow, that would be awesome if we could do that. And a couple of our technicians had some time, so we worked out templates, we worked out reinforcement patterns for the rear bumper clip, rear fender clip, and we came up with a way to install retro lights. And you can see how it's done. You can buy it on our website. And if you have a Ural, and if you like how these lights look on a Ural, you can absolutely turn your motorcycle into well, any Ural looks retro, but you can even make it look more retro from the lighting standpoint. So we have retro lights on this bike. And another nice detail on this motorcycle, I like it. It's very inexpensive and it's highly functional. It's the fender driving lamp. So when you turn on your lights, when you turn on your motorcycle, you can see the fender light. It's running the same circuit as your headlamp, as your low beam or high beam. So it's great. Not to mention it gives you more light on the road, but it also other drivers see your motor vehicle in their rear view mirror accordingly. And check out that Ural that is actually cut in the metal grille. The metal grille is designed by us here at Ural of New England. It's made here in Massachusetts to our standards, and it fits absolutely perfectly. It fits phenomenal. Check out all these details. And you can take it off. 2 little stainless steel screws. And yes, it does reduce a little bit less of the light. I think it takes away maybe 15, possibly 20% of light intensity. There's still plenty of light, but number one, it looks awesome. It just looks plain awesome. Also, if you happen to hit it with your foot while getting in the bike, it's going to hold up better. The lens is very strong too, but I think the grille will protect it. So, and how can we do the review and not start the motorcycle? So let's start it up. The bike is in neutral. The engine was cold. I'm going to put my hand on it. The engine was absolutely cold. Runs beautiful. Excellent throttle response even on the cold engine. Idle's very nice. Picks up the idle beautiful. Yeah, that was my test. I was intentionally revving it up, not too much, but the first generation of fuel injection system, you had to wait for the motorcycle to warm up. With the new one, the Gen 2, you don't have to. And by the way, if your Ural has Generation 1 fuel injection system, yes, you can buy a full conversion, and we have step-by-step instructions, and it can be done, I shouldn't say easily, but all you need is time and follow the instructions, and you can turn your Ural that was produced between 2014 and 2018, you can produce it, you can turn it into and convert it to Gen 2 fuel injection system. So yeah, there we are. Let's get on the bike. Let's get it started one more time. Let's put it in first gear. We can take off a little bit. We can ride around the showroom. Urals have phenomenal radius of turning. And how many bikes can go in reverse? Well, we put this bike in neutral. We know this bike can. And all we need to do is step on this pedal right here. Boom, we're in reverse. All we need to do now is release the clutch, and guess what? We are moving in reverse. All I need to do is squeeze the clutch and step on the forward part of this pedal, which brings me back to neutral. Now all I need to do is put the bike in first gear, which I just did. Nice and smooth engagement. And all I do, I release the clutch, and I'm good to go. Look at all these beautiful cars. It's nice and warm, and it's minus 12 degrees Celsius on the street now. So we're gonna park it next to Phoenix. We're going to take this one next and do a review of this awesome Ural motorcycle. Back to neutral. Turn the bike off. And yes, we do have a parking brake. Check this out. Boom. Luxurious parking brake engagement, not like it used to be on the older Urals, where it was a mechanical engagement. Still, I take that all day long over no parking brake, but I love this new one. Check this out. Nice and easy. It's actually a nice, rewarding feeling. Oh, it's beautiful. So thank you very much for viewing this video. We hope you enjoyed it. Please let us know when you like the video from our YouTube channel. You can just let us know by clicking a little thing on your screen, and then we know you liked it. When we see videos that you and other viewers liked a lot, we're going to do more of those videos. Thank you very much for viewing this one, and this was Dimitri reporting to you from our Boxborough showroom location.